Well, it's flooding here in Bali. Jesus Christ, I woke up to some chaotic scenes outside of my front window. Now it's just gone absolutely berserk. The river is absolutely flooded. It's broken its banks, the river of Legia. And we've got some footage here of the actual flooding. We're just doing this live straight off the bat. So I don't know who's watching, who's seen, who's doing it. If you are in Bali, send me through on WhatsApp. I'll pop my number up on the screen. Where are we? So send me any footage you've got of where you are and I'll share it. I've got a couple of people that's already sent me some stuff. So anything of the floods to +61 488 689 773. Send that footage through. And let's see what is happening out and about here in Bali. You'll have to bear with me as I'm just typing these things up on the screen. And let me get things ready because I just sort of jump on here and help everyone because people are asking what the hell's going on over in Bali. So I'm going to share stuff. I was out this morning doing some drone footage and just capturing some stuff, some bits and pieces. So I have posted a little bit of stuff so far, but there are things that I haven't posted yet. Let me get this drone footage up because this is really, really good stuff. You can actually see the extent of the actual flooding around Bali. You are joining me from my kitchen. So we've got 8 people on TikTok, got a couple of people on YouTube. I'm not sure how many's on actual on Instagram, but let's just do this anyway. So where are we? So I want to share this with you. Share. So this is the actual drone footage from this morning. I put it up in above where I'm living. I'm living in Seminyak. So this will just show you what actual, yes, damages or the flood was. So this was a couple of hours ago. So just bear with me. It does go for 4 minutes. So we can see there is a bit of flooding in the actual backyards of this particular part of Seminyak. I'm located on Jalan Nakula, and what you can see, we're going to fly towards the river here, and you will see how bad it is. In the streets, it's flooded. I do get to the river and follow the river along. So we are coming up to that river area here. And one of the problems with Bali is the flooding. It just doesn't handle rain very well. And this is due to the fact that there is so much rubbish and debris in the stormwater drains that when it does get this over flooding, it is just very, very difficult. So here we can see this is the actual river here. Usually there's about 10 or maybe 4 meters between the water level and that bridge. If I can just go back and show you this. So this bridge here, you can see my pointer. So usually there's about 3 meters or so. So this road continues along. I can't really move it around, but up here, I've had some people call me this morning asking what to do. They are flying out at 12 o'clock tonight, but it is flooded. Even to get to the airport, it's flooded. So this river here, which we can see, I'm just going to bring up a Google map for you as well, so you can see where the river actually goes. So let me share this one with you. So here we are. So we just jump on Google Maps here. So this is where I'm located on Jalan Nakula. So this river shot here is this part here. So you can see the river. If we zoom out, the river goes all the way along and it's coming all the way through Denpasar. It's just this small little creek. But if we zoom right out, it comes all the way up from Ubud, so up in the mountains. And overnight in Ubud, the mountains were drastically flooded. I've got some footage I'm going to show you of Ubud, so you get an idea of what's happening up there as well. But if we come back to where we are, so this is the main river of Legian. It comes all the way down. People probably know that's that satay place that I go to in here. Again, the river widens up, but it has burst its banks. We do have some footage from, where is it? Let's share this.
Wow.
Is there any sound? I just watched that again. So this is on that street.
Wow.
You can see that it has burst banks of the river. Now, it's usually you gotta love the attitude of the Indonesians when it is a bit of flooding. So flooding's not a drastic thing here. It happens when we get these horrible rains overnight. Now, I did hear the storms overnight. If you do have any footage from last night or from this morning, please send it through. Chuck it on WhatsApp. Send it through to that number that you've got on your screen there. But you can see it is pretty devastating footage. Yeah. So let's go back to that drone footage here. So we want to share this one. Is that on the screen? Here, let's just swap this out. So you get a really good feel for the actual drone footage. So you can see that's that river. And we're just going to fly along the river here and see the devastation. So this here, just to explain, this is a road that goes along the river. We've got all houses here. This area here is all villas, just so you can see how much devastation there is from the actual flooding. So as we fly along, it's going to turn up here, and that follows the river. So this here is all the banks of the river. So it's completely burst its banks. And I say again, it's usually about 2 or 3 meters from the river up to the top of the bank. So the fact it's done this is absolutely horrible. So as we come around, we can see, let's just stop it here. That's somebody's backyard there. See if we can zoom in. So there's some zoom in footage there for you. So I'm just doing all this on the fly, so bear with me as I learn all the controls of it. And we've just lost you there, but we're going to get back to that screen. Let's see if we can pop this in the actual. Seem to have lost the connection there, but let's just keep how we go. Let's just close it and start again so you get an idea. And we'll come back to it. So if you're in Bali at the moment and you are stuck in, oh my God, it's getting worse. The main street where I am at the moment, it is getting worse. It is starting to flood more and more. Let's see if we can get this back up. Here we are back again at the start. So let's just fast forward a little bit so we can see where we were. So we're about here. So we're going to follow this around. As I was showing before, this area on the left as it pans around here is someone's backyard. This here is the road. Okay, so you can see there's a street light here. So this is the road that goes along the river. Again, this is Legian River. So this river is getting higher and higher. As I look out, it is creeping up. So all that water that was in Ubud needs to make its way down to, I guess, to the beach, to the ocean, and it does follow the waterways. Now, this is only just one river. There's going to be lots of rivers throughout Bali that is completely flooded. We can see here, that's a motorbike there. That's just is being flooded too. So these are all villas on the left-hand side. So this is the bridge. If I just zoom in here, so this is one of the bridges here on Jalan Nakula. So you get a really good feel for how high it is. Again, you're sort of looking at about 2 meters to 3 meters normally between the river and the actual bridge. Now it is lucky, but this road, so that's that road we've just been following along, hasn't burst yet. I can see, even in the last 2 minutes, the water has gotten higher out on the street. It is flowing like a river on the street below my apartment here. So this area is Legian. This is going to go past the Legian night market. This road here will take you down to Flash Gym, if you know Flash Gym in the Legian area. But it is going to cut back around and go back around this particular part. So if I just stop there, I might just take it back a second. So you can see in here, this is all flooded from its burst banks as well. So there's a hell of a lot of water coming through Legian at the moment. Again, if you are in Legian or if you're in Bali, your friends are in Bali, tell them to shoot me a message if they've got any footage of what's happening. Try and get as much live action feed for you as possible. The water's not going down at all. It's rising still. If you are trying to get to the airport today, you are going to have a bit of trouble. I have a flight booked today. I was going to Sulawesi at 4 o'clock. I don't think that's going to happen now because you just can't get anywhere. I do have some footage from Bali Legals, which is one of the legal companies here. Look at that. Isn't that how much water is just going through that? I'm just going to bring that back up. Isn't that? So you can see how fast that water is flowing through as well. There's that road. So these you can see here. Let's just have a look here. If I zoom in, can I go across? I can't go across. I have to zoom back out. So if you can see here, that's somebody's apartment. That's someone's house. That's their living room. So look how high it is. So it won't take much to burst through that. So hopefully, because that's the door there, hopefully they're okay. Hopefully it hasn't gone in. We can see it's still dry in there. Wowza. I did have I wonder if I've got some footage. Jessica, I think it was Jessica. If you're watching this, Jessica, send me through that footage, please. WhatsApp. We were chatting earlier. You can see that's moving very, very fast. And look, here's the. There's those motorbikes. I zoomed in earlier. So that was 9 o'clock, so 2.5 hours ago. So that has risen higher since then. And some of the streets have become waterways as well. Wow, it is absolutely flowing out on the main street there. So I was flying in the rain, so there was a little bit of jerking with the drone footage because it was getting caught with the delays of where I was located and where the rain was flowing. Absolutely devastating. So again, we're back down near the river here. So you can see, so this is an actual main thoroughfare. That's now a waterway. That's what's happened, basically, what's happened out front of my house as well, where I'm located. So again, that's that bridge that we looked at the start. I'm not sure if this has burst yet. I'm going to say it has because where the water is actually flowing on my street, it would have had to have burst to get down there. So we can see all down here as well as completely. Again, this is a road. You can see people walking and no one can get through. So up in Ubud, it is a lot worse. There is some horrible footage up there. I'm going to find that for you as well that got sent through to me. It is on TikTok. I did post this earlier, so you've probably already seen it maybe. So we're going to go through TikTok together so you can have a look at some of them. So you can see how deep that is. I'm pretty sure that's up in Ubud. It did get sent through to me. And it's just flooded all the way up to. The worst thing is when this stuff happens is Denpasar. So let's have a look on TikTok, because everyone is posting on TikTok here in Bali. So we're going to have a quick look at Denpasar here on the videos that have been. Look at that falling. People, we had a Hey Rick live a couple of weeks ago with Brennan from your local property expert, I believe the business was. He's looking at building properties here and selling properties in Bali. And he was talking about some of the safety restrictions or the lack of safety restrictions when it comes to the builders. And this is the problem. Places like this, they just get built quickly and cheaply. And when Bali today is a really good indication of what Indonesia is like. It is a whole other beast. You have volcanoes, you have flooding, you have earthquakes, you have so many natural disasters, you have king tides, and you have mini tsunamis throughout the year. It is absolutely dreadful sometimes when it comes to the natural disasters. But seeing things like this really redirects to me best not to invest in property here in Bali because you are facing these challenges. It is better, I think, to just rent them here. But this is absolutely horrible. There's no reports on if there has been anyone who's died on this. Absolutely. You don't know if anybody's in there. So some of the questions coming through on TikTok Live. Hey Rick, is this unusual? What happens a bit? This is really unusual for this time of the year, Deborah, because we're meant to be in dry season. So the weather patterns are so unpredictable and chaotic. So it is very difficult to know how often this happens. Perhaps if somebody's watching who is living in Bali, please let me know. Let's have a look at this. It's 6:45 this morning. Let's have a look at where this is. This is gang 7, number 7 gang. All right, let's try and find this location. Oh, okay, so I know where that is. That's one of the big markets in Denpasar city. So Denpasar. All right, so let's so we can see here. So this is the market. Okay, so you can see it's quite a little way back from the actual river. If we zoom out, this is in the middle of Denpasar. I'm located down here, so you can see that's where I am. But you can see that river flows all the way up there, all the way through, and it keeps going. But let's have a quick look here. And there's nothing you can do. So that, my friends, that's roofs. That's roofs of some of the shops. So this is people's shops. I'm pretty sure that's shops, or it could be houses. Yeah. So what he was saying was it's been raining since 2 o'clock last night. Now the storms here were absolutely horrific. I'd never seen or heard storms so bad in any of my time here in Bali. Now, if you've been here during rainy season, you know that the storms can be chaos. There is thunder, there is lightning, there is torrential rain. When it rains, this is some of the challenges that happen. It really does. If you're on the live here on TikTok or on Instagram or wherever you're watching for live, just share it. Let's try and get more followers watching this so I can see what it's like here at the moment. Wow. That's the chicken market. So that's what he's just saying there. This is the chicken market. Legian is also flooding. I'm just going to keep looking out the window so get an idea of what's happening here. Allow me to just quickly, I don't know if I can, to be honest. I want to show you what it looks like. Last night, people are set up. Selling, you can see they're set up little warungs. So they're set up under these umbrellas for selling food for the night market. So this must have just happened as a flash flood and come really, really quick because I haven't seen this before. Lightning. Absolutely devastating. Underground car park there. Here you go. Look, this was 1 hour ago. So this is the aftermath of flooding. If you've ever been through floods, you would know the aftermath is just as horrible as the flooding itself because of the cleanup. Now, as you know, Bali is pretty dirty when it comes to rubbish. There's rubbish everywhere. That's part of that smell, that Bali smell you get when you do come here. Now, that smell over the next few days is going to be everywhere. It is going to be horrendous. So this is Pasar Kumbasari. So that was today. Let's just have a look at where that is. This will be in Denpasar as well. So let's bring that up. So it's in the same area. It's on the other side of the market where we were just looking. The destruction from that water. Now, I don't know what was in here beforehand. I'm not sure what they've got in their hands there. Looks like they are trying to get some goods or something. I'm not quite sure. Can we zoom in on this? No, we can't zoom in on that, unfortunately. I'm just thinking, I wonder if that's all rubbish here in the background that's been caught. So we can see there's all rubbish here that has been caught. So seeing this, watch that again. We'll just see what we can actually get from it. It looks like there was some things they were trying to collect. So this thing that's in their hand here behind the play sign. Now I'm watching this live with you. Wow. So here we can see in the tree all the rubbish from the currents of the water. That is absolutely devastating. Now, if you're in Bali and you want to give me a call, give me a call because we. Wow. give me a call and I'll chat to you live on air to see what's happening where you are. I'm located Jalan Nakula in Seminyak, so just coming up to Jalan Sunset. The water has risen outside by another, I'm going to say another 10 centimeters. It is flowing down the street. I can't turn this around for some reason to show you. Let's see what else is happening. This was 1 hour ago, this footage here in Denpasar. Denpasar is the part of Bali that people don't think about. It is the part that causes, it's the part where most of the Indonesians live. People don't realize that the Indonesians who live in Bali tend to live in Denpasar. They live in very crowded apartment buildings called KOS, KOS. A KOS, so you know, is a small little one-bedroom apartment. Let's see if we can show you what it looks like. These are some good ones. So something like this here, and just be a small room, but the further into Denpasar you can go, the cheaper they get. So if your average salary is about $350 a month, maybe $400, $450 a month, you are having to pay anywhere from $80 to $150 a month on your rent, on your costs. So these costs are built everywhere, and it is where the locals live. So your friends Wayan and Made who work down the beach, they would be living in costs like these ones here. It's the underground car park at the Kumbasari market we were just looking before. That is just horrific. Here's another angle of that. Wow. Absolutely horrific. This is at 5 o'clock in the morning in Denpasar. Now, when it floods here in Bali, the floods happen so quick. There really is a flash flooding. It does cause so much chaos. Nowhere, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. You just need to wait for things to just settle. So nothing works. I do want to bring up, allow me to bring up Instagram because there is an account I follow. Let me just find it and log in for you because there's an account called Bali Legals. They're located out on Jalan Sunset, and they did post some footage before of the underpass to the airport, which is near the big Dewa Ruchi statue. I just need to log in here. 1 second as I log in. Where are we? Bali Legals. So here we are on Instagram. So Bali Legals, this is the underpass to the airport. If you know it, you do need to go down this page or down that road there to get to. Well, this here is the big Dewa Ruchi statue, and behind that is Bali Mall Galleria. So this gives you a really good indication of what the flooding is like in that area. Wow, so look at that. It's up to the roof or the door, middle of the door of those cars. Now, the cars here in Indonesia tend to be a little bit smaller, but still, they've been trapped there. I think, I don't know how they would have even got there. Is there any? If you are trying to get to the airport today, it might be a little different. Oh, oh God. There's yeah, it's so much happening. Let's just go back here. Might just give this a quick refresh and see what's happening. If there's anything newer. Well, she's filming from the third floor, is what she's saying. You can see the truck has been inundated. Again, this is at that same market we were looking at earlier. This is the main one of the main thoroughfares, one of the main streets here in Denpasar. Well, the sun has come out. Things will start to. The problem is all the water that is up in Ubud needs to come down. So this is going to be rising floodwaters most likely for the next 6 hours, 7 hours. You've been notified from your airline if your flight's been cancelled. Please send it through. Send me a WhatsApp through on this number that's on your screen. Let me know, and I can. Saying you can't go. You can't go that way. You're stuck. They're going to get a rope for something. Saying, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" Devastating. Absolutely devastating. No other word for it. So they're like the satay cookers. They sell fruit. They sell nasi bungus. They sell lots of different things. So we've seen that. So we do have some footage coming through on WhatsApp. Just replying to some messages here. Just bear with me, guys. some serious water coming through there. Up in Denpasar. Let's do a search for Ubud to get an idea of what's happening up there. Hello, there we are. Ubud. Let's have a look at see where it is. It's on the main street. Let's have a quick look on the maps. Okay, so this is our main street through Ubud. So we can see there on the way to Bali Zoo. We've got Bali Zoo down here, if you know Bali Zoo. Monkey Forest up a little bit further north. Absolutely devastating. But just to give you an idea of how long this took to actually occur. So it started raining yesterday in the morning, and it was just a slight drizzle, to be honest with you. And it just rained slowly all throughout the day. Then it got sort of a bit heavier and heavier in the afternoon. This morning, there was some horrific thunderstorms that came through. Most people are commenting that they were woken up by the thunderstorms. So that did bring a lot of the rain. Now, the weather patterns up in Ubud tend to be a little bit different to what happens down here. Sometimes it is perfectly dry in the Legian Seminyak area and is torrential raining up in Ubud. So that does cause a lot of problems. So without knowing exactly how much rain Ubud suffered last night, well, you can see here on this. You can see there was a lot of rain that came through last night. Wow. This is in Semeton, so let's have a look at where Semeton is in Ubud. Oh, no, wrong one. Sorry. Oh, it's not on there. Absolutely devastating. So it's difficult to know what happens here with the weather. Every day, people message me on TikTok or on Instagram or via WhatsApp and ask, "Is it going to rain today?" You really don't know if it's going to rain today. You really don't know what the situation is. Where's this? Kuda. So let me show you where this is, just so you get a good feel for it. We're looking around this area here. Okay, so where IKEA is. So this road here, Jalan Pati Jalantik. So we can see this goes down to Kuta. Right, this is main Legion down here. We've got the beach just over here. So you can see it is pretty close to the beach. This area is called Kuta Central Parking. This is Jalan Pati Jalantik, which is the main road. And this is where this is being filmed. So they're going down this direction. Okay. All of these restaurants have been completely inundated. Absolutely crazy. The Gruyu. I don't know where Gruyu is. Oh, did I spell it incorrectly? Gruyu. Okay, let's zoom out. Oh, no, that's over in Java. I wonder if that's in Java. That's over in Java. Interesting. Oh my lord. Look at that. Flash flooding. Wow. That. I have no words. So there in the water, you can see the oil that's been leaking up. See the different color of the actual water there. That's the oil that's leaking from the car. Let's have a look and see where this is located. Okay, so we're still in Denpasar. So sort of a bit north Denpasar. Just to put it in perspective, we're located here, Denpasar City. So those other horrific flooded markets were around this area here. So we're going to go a little bit north to Umbung Kaja. Kaja just means north, North Umbung. Look at that. The absolute destruction. Imagine waking up to that this morning if you even slept. cleanup for something like this, something as drastic as this, is going to take weeks. It really will. Now, you probably won't see much of it if you are holidaying in the Canggu or Kuta, Legian, Seminyak area, but through Denpasar, let's have a look and see what's happening in Canggu. That's absolutely horrific. Okay, so this spot here is on the way to the airport. So if you're driving to the airport, you would have seen this major statue. It's called Dewa Ruchi. It sits in front of Bali Mall Gallery. So here is the underpass that we saw before. It had a couple of cars stuck there. Wow, that's the roof of a car. Just thinking, how did it get there? Was it parked there beforehand? Now this here is about, I guess it's 12 feet. When things like this happen, everything stops here. Now, one of the best things about the Indonesians is they do get together and they do help each other out. I've been trying to find information about flights. I'm not sure if you're watching this and you know, is there any flights running? Please reach out to us and let me know. Just had a few messages come in. Bear with me. I'm just going to go on hold. Give me a moment. This guy is in Legian at the moment. He's saying that the height of the flooding is up to his hips for an adult. Saying, do not come along this road. Try and find another way. He said the rain has stopped. I look out my window and it has stopped. Traffic is slowly moving. Let me just have a quick look. It looks like the flood waters are sort of. I wonder if I can turn this around for you. Just got so many cords. Let me just unplug some things. Where are you? I've lost you. see if you can, I'm sure if you can see down there. So this road here, if you can see it, I can't see what you can see. There's a guy in the blue, he's there. So where this motorbike is, oh, where? Around here. Oh, hang on, down there, here. Sorry. So this road that is flooding with water 2 hours ago had no water running down it. It was completely dry. Seems people were getting through though across to Legian, which is a good sign, which means Bali is starting to move again. However, if we look across, I'm not sure if you can see that road down there is completely flooded. Now, this little area of Seminyak and Legian is a great spot to live. However, because of instances like this, it does become quite difficult to live here. Now, when people are buying villas here, they're buying property here, they're buying land here, they're not thinking about these natural disasters that do happen a lot here in Bali. So it is something you need to take into consideration if you are planning on moving to Bali, living in Bali, and sort of investing in Bali as well. It's being filmed last night before it got worse. So that's a little while ago. Maybe we'll just go to Karabokan and see what's happening there. Karabokan's just a little bit north of Seminyak. Look how high those floodwaters are there. That's a roof. So this is it, the Karabokan market. Wow, unbelievable. This is in Karabokan itself. So Karabokan, just so you're aware, you're looking around. Oh, around this area here is around this area in here. This is all called Karabokan. So it's saying in this area, floodwaters have reached 1.5 meters in depth, which is unbelievable. This is on the 1 hour ago on the 12th. If you're going to the airport today, I would suggest going sooner rather than later. It seems like it's going to be very, very difficult to get there. Electricity is still on. I'm running on Wi-Fi here, so that's fine. So we've got fire is going past my place now. So that's what you can hear, that fire. So this is in front of Bali Mall Galleria, so the bypass. If you're going to go to Sanua, so let's just put this into perspective for you. So this is Bali Mall Galleria here. So if you want to go this way towards Sanur, along this street here where my mouse pointer is exactly where this person is filming. So this hypermart sign, that's your entry point into Bali Mall Galleria, which is right here. Okay. Hours ago, this was posted. So let's watch a couple of lives together of what's happening. You can see the debris and the rubbish. Where is this? So there we go, live. That is what's happening here in Bali at this point in time. It is now 12:30. I am weighing up whether I try and go to the airport. I do have a flight booked to go to Sulawesi this afternoon at 4 o'clock, but I don't think you'll be able to get there. I might have to change that to tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward with this. I think I might go out on the streets and get some more footage for you. So stay tuned, follow along, and thanks for watching. I hope you found that informative, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.